G'day. Okay, I've started reassembling this generator because this is the inner shaft, and because there's a technical name for this, but I can't think of what it is. Not that it matters. Anyway, as you can see, I've scrubbed it up, scrubbed the rust off it, scrubbed the corrosion off the copper pieces where the rotors run. I just used a bit of wet 240 with a bit of WD-40 on it instead of water. Yeah, probably couldn't have got 400, probably would have been better, but yeah, don't actually have any at the moment. But 250's done it. So there's a couple little, there's some fine lines in it, but yeah, nothing's going to be an issue. But yeah, what I'm replacing the bearings with is these type. The original ones, I don't know if they even had sealed bearings, when these were made. Probably did. They just never changed it from the 50s. This is a 71 model. But, yeah, like they do have these washer things which is supposedly keep the dirt out and hold the grease in, but they don't really do anything much. So yeah, basically it throws all the grease out and then it runs dry. So yeah, that's what I'm replacing with. Just went down to my local bearing shop. They were $9 each. It's a bargain, so yeah, $18, and I've replaced the bearings and cleaned up the generator thing. Yeah, as in the previous video, I did repair this flogged out keyway, and if you watch that video, you see me struggling to knock the bit of copper out. Like I made a replica of the key out of copper, and yeah, held it in place with a pair of vice grips. Like not really tight, because you don't want it to squash when you put heat on it when it gets soft. So you just clamp it on enough to hold it without it falling out. But yeah, and in doing that, it keeps it down in the center of the slot. And anyway, what I was trying to knock it out with, I'll just grab it. So I was really struggling to get that bit of copper out. And later on I was thinking about it. Yeah, this is like, this punch is like, 1.5 mil, not even that. It's for punching small architrave nails. And so what I was actually doing, I was putting it in here, is it was sinking into the copper, and it was actually spreading the copper, pushing it tighter. And that's why I was having so much trouble getting it out, because I was actually packing it in there instead of digging it out. Anyway, so what I did, grabbed an old wood chisel, stuck it on the grinder, and made a chisel the same width as the keyway. And yeah, once I got in there, it just popped out real easy. A couple of little taps and it was clean. So should have done that right from the beginning. And as for the wood chisel, it's just an old cheap shit one. You can see it's not that strong. It's freaking bent and whatever. So yeah, but yeah, I can stick it on the grinder and grind it back to how it's supposed to be. So it's not totally wasted. It's just going to be 10 mil shorter than what it was. So, yeah. But yeah, I got that bit of copper out real quick. So yeah, as I said, this is an absolute win with A bit of dirt in there at the moment. Just get that little bit of dirt out. Drop the key back in. Yeah, it's quite tight, but yeah, that's sort of a bonus anyway. Yeah, this is going to be an issue. Trying to hold the I take it over the vice, but if it falls out on the floor over there with all that mess on the floor, I'm going to be struggling to find it again. So. It does fit. I said I already tapped it in there, but I was using 2 ends at the time. So I do want to show you that it does actually fit. So try about moldies. These are stupid things. It's wider on one end than it is on the other, or probably on this bit. So you got to keep tightening and loosening. Anyway, so if I can do it this way one-handed. So it is tight. Yeah. Anyway, I have to put that on something solid, give it a tap, but yeah, I have had it in, it fits. It's a bit tight, but yeah, tight's a good thing. It's not going to be wobbling around, but anyway, yeah, that's an absolute win. So, yeah, so yeah, anyway, just going to have to take my word for it that it taps in fully. And yeah, still got to scrub the magnets. They're a little bit tricky actually, because you got all the insulation around it. You don't want to, you know, it's old and brittle, and so it's going to be a little bit sort of awkward scrubbing the rust off with it without damaging the insulation around it. I'll show you what I mean. I've actually got a wire that's had this. That's a bit of fish oily stuff. I did want to put it in the sandblaster, but I changed my mind about that. That's not the greatest idea. And yeah, none of it's visible. So as I said, I've treated it now. That's a rust converter fish oil spray. Actually, I'll show you this stuff. This is really good. Use this a lot. It's great for underbodies of cars and trucks, and yeah, stuff that, you know, where it'd be difficult and not really necessary to, you know, scrub it all back and paint it all, and yeah, this is excellent stuff. And yeah, it's used to have a picture on the front. Yeah, but anyway, it does soak in between, you know, seams and you know, like spot welded panels and all that stuff. It'll soak right in between it, and it treats the rust. It doesn't necessarily turn it black like a regular rust converter, but it treats it, you know, sort of, it will blacken it in places, but yeah, as I said, it neutralises it, and then it covers it with a fish oily compound that dries and seals it all up. So yeah, you got stuff out of sight that, yeah, got a bit of surface rust on, or things that you can't get to. Yeah, this works a treat. So anyway, back to what I was saying about this generator housing. Okay, I said I want to get the rust off those magnets. But yeah, look how brittle the insulation is. There's a bit of dirt in there too. And, I said I'm not that keen to go hosing it either. So it's probably better to leave the dirt in there than to bust all that insulation. So I said I've blown it out with air. But yeah, I'm going to get some emery and very carefully scrub those magnets. And I'll just give it another dust out with air and that'll have to do it. So as I said, this was working. There's no issues with it. So, anyway, we'll leave it at that. Won't bore you with the full assembly. If you are going to dismantle it and replace bearings or whatever, scrub up the coppers and renew it. Yeah. Take note of how it comes apart and yeah, wire the bits together or zip tie them. So yeah, that's on this end, so I know what order it came off and how it went back together. So and, yeah, I've done the same with these. Tied all these together in order. And the only one I hadn't, I only realised this was in here because it fell out when I blew it with air. That actually goes up in the in the front of that. It goes inside that side there. That's a that's like a spring washer. Just goes against the bearing. So yeah. So be careful of that if it falls out. Obviously it's there for a reason. Needs to go back in. Yeah. Alright, we'll leave it at that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.